Okay, let's roll right into our post-race. We're going to hear from our race winner of the 31st Annual History 300 NASCAR Nationwide Series race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Our race winner, Brad Keselowski, he drove the number 22 Discount Tire Dodge for Penske Racing. He's joined by his crew chief, Jeremy Bullins, who racked up his first career win in NASCAR today with Brad Keselowski. This is Brad's first Nationwide Series win of 212, his second win here at Charlotte. And Brad, congratulations. This is your 18th Nationwide Series victory. And just talk about the win today. Long race, hot race, and just talk about the victory out there today.
Sure. You know, our car started off pretty decent. We were able to make some positions and get up into the top 5 relatively early. I can't remember exactly what lap it was, and kind of leveled off there in maybe 4th or 5th. I don't know exactly where it was before the green flag cycle came, and we pitted and put on our tires and did all that stuff when the yellow came out right at the end of the first green flag cycle, and from there we were able to drive up and run pretty competitively behind, I think it was Harvick with Logano behind me, and they were both really fast, and we were kind of just holding our own right there, and you know, got a long run and pitted for tires there under green, and then again after y'all came out maybe 15 laps later, and made some good adjustments on the car, I feel like, and made it a little bit faster, and then kind of worked the traffic to get up to the lead with what was that, 65 to go, something like that. And you know, then it was just a question of who's going to pit and give themselves that extra little bit of fuel to make sure they're good, and who's going to gamble. And we gambled. And I think it was a smart gamble. Obviously, it was a smart gamble. It paid off. But you know, from there it was you know, just trying to hold off Kyle, who's really fast, and then I think it was Denny Hamlin, who was coming very, very quickly. So between those, he had a little bit fresher tires from what I could tell, but he was still probably the car to beat at the end, and you know, I think it had been a few laps longer, he'd have been really tough to hold off. So you know, I'm thankful that we're able to do it today and get the first win of the season for the Discount Tire team. It's been since Homestead of last year, so it feels good to finally get that monkey off our back. I feel like we've had a couple races this year where we were close and maybe deserving, and the racing god said no. So it's good that they smiled on us today, and we were able to execute, and everybody did their job, and everything went together well.
And Jeremy, talk about what it's like to have your first career victory here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Well, you know, I guess, you know, some kids grow up and they want to play baseball or they want to play football or whatever they want to do. And, you know, my dad started dragging me to the racetrack when I was 5 years old, and that's all I've ever wanted to do is sit right here and have this conversation. So, pretty proud of that, you know, that all the years of coming to the racetrack and all the work, you know, you feel like it pays off. So, just really thankful that I had the opportunity to be part of this team. It's a great race team and a great organization, and they give us all the tools to do our jobs, and, you know, today we did it.
We'll take questions now for Brad or Jeremy. We'll start here with, I think Mike had one. Then we'll go Tom, Al, Pete.
Mike Hembry, Speed.com. Brad, if over those last 30 or so laps, if your lead had been half a second instead of 1.5, would you have driven the car differently?
Maybe. You don't know until you're in that spot. I would assume so, but Denny was coming pretty hard. He was going to be tough to beat if the race was just 3 or 4 laps longer. So I'm thankful that we were able to hold him off. But you know, ifs and buts. You know, I don't know. That's why we race him. You know, that's the only way to find out. And there wasn't 3 to 5 laps more, so it was good.
Tom, and then Al, then Pete. And
Thanks,
then Nate.
Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Brad, given the importance that Roger Penske places on this weekend, and given your involvement with your foundation in the military, is the timing of this win especially special or important to you?
Absolutely. You know, it's got 3 shots at winning races this weekend for Roger and Penske Racing. and we're 1 for 1. So that's good. And I think tomorrow my Cup car is excellent. It's going to be tough to run with a 48, and those guys always is. And, you know, anything can always go against you in a 6-hour-mile race, but all you can hope for is to have speed and for things to go your way, and you can control some of the latter and all of the first. So we've got what I feel like is a great shot at tomorrow to get 2 out of 3. And hopefully over in Indy they'll be able to pull it off. So I'm happy for him. I really am. One way or another, the checkered flag at Penske Racing is going to fly this week, and that's great for the guys. So good start. A lot more work to be done.
I got this one if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, you got one of them. So I'm happy for him, and obviously Memorial Day weekend, like you alluded to, with what it means to our country and so forth, and the causes that I support does make it a little bit more special. But I'd like to add tomorrow to it as well. You know, I'm not satisfied, and I think, like I said, we've got a great shot at it. Thank you.
Al?
Yeah, Al Pierce from Auto Week, for either one of you. After y'all decided not to pit with that fake move to come inside, did that make up your bed for the rest of the day? Was that going to be it? Were you not going to reconsider after that?
Well, I think it made our bet if the race stayed green. We had no choice at that point but to gamble. I felt like, you know, at that point in the race, if we got a caution another 20 or 30 laps, the whole field would have come and got their last set of tires. Tires were, you know, we got tires one time and some guys didn't, and some guys got 2 tires, and we were able to make our way back to the front. So, you know, we felt like track position was key. We felt like if the race went green, we were close enough that it was worth the gamble, and that if a caution came out, we were going to pit anyway, so it didn't really matter at that point.
Let's go to Pete and then Nate.
Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Brad, those last few laps, did you at all think, you know, I'm going to be Dale Jr. from last year and running out at the end?
No. Jeremy says we're going to make it. And if Jeremy says we're going to make it, I believe it. And that's my job until he proves me wrong.
Nate?
Nate Ryan, USA Day. 2 questions for Brad. The first, you signed your crew chief's placard there. What's the deal with that? Are you afraid you're never going to win another one of these or something like that? Or?
You only get one first win. It's like something else. There's only one first time, you know. So enjoy it.
Agreed.
The second question for Brad is, you sounded like you were extremely confident today about the Cup car, and you sounded like you still are. Does this feel a little bit like Bristol? Are you going into tomorrow thinking you're the favorite, or are you looking at anybody else? Are you looking at Jimmy, or do you feel like it's your race to lose tomorrow?
Well, I never go into a weekend thinking I'm the favorite, because one thing this sport teaches you over and over again is when you get overconfident, it kicks you right between the legs. And it's pretty consistent about doing that. So you know, I'm making a point to not think that way. But I do go off of how I feel about my car versus the field and where we've been in the past and past experience. And I think this is the most competitive car I've had at this track since I've been in Cup. And that's something I'm very proud of. In race streaming, obviously we were on the pole here last spring, a year ago I should say. And this car in race stream is much more competitive. So I don't want to use the word confident, but I'm happier than I was last year. How about that? By a long ways. And
Certainly one of the fastest in practice today.
yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, you were.
So that's a good way to finish off practice. Thanks, Kerry.
You're welcome. Let's go to the press box for questions.
Jim out of the Charlotte Observer. Along kind of a follow-up to that, Brad, being the fact that both practices were conducted during the middle of the heat of the day, how is it that you still remain as confident, or as that you are as confident about how your car performs when much of the race won't take place under those conditions?
No, I mean that's a fairly smart question, Jim. I think well, I'm trying. What it is? I wasn't trying to be an ass. I'm just saying it's pretty. I mean, it is. It's only been asked for 30 years. Has anyone gave a good answer to that? We're waiting. I need about 4 more of these, and I could give you an hour round
Easy.
rant.
Easy.